consequences. I don't know, what do you think? Truth or dare?
And also, we went to, what was it, First Baptist Church here this morning. Interesting experience. Definitely more mega churchy. It was interesting. Just a little different than what we're used to. But yeah, last night we stayed by a pretty mountain. It was super pretty when we woke up this morning. Like, we forgot to get video of it for y'all, but just trust us, it was spectacular.
So we stopped at a Walmart to get our Super Bowl snacks, and Walmart actually has covered parking throughout its whole lot because they're solar panels. Gotta soak up the New Mexico sun. Pretty cool. So here we are in the city of Truth or Consequences, and Alphonse and I looked it up, and it was first founded from John Cross, who built a ranch. Do you remember what year?
1902, I believe.
So the early 1900s. It used to be called Hot Springs. Back then, there was a radio show called Truth or Consequences, and it was done through NBC. And the radio show host said, hey, the first city that is named Truth or Consequences, then we'll choose that as a place to go do our 10th annual for the radio show. Well, Hot Springs wasn't super attached to the name, so they voted to change the name to Truth or Consequences so that they would be the city that this radio show came to for their 10th anniversary, essentially. The radio show isn't still around, but they continued celebrating when the show host would come every year because he would continue to visit. And it's now called the Fiesta, and they actually team up with the city of Hatch, the chili capital of the world, I believe.
Or at least of Hatch chili.
And they even have like their own chili queen and and stuff. So it's kind of cool. So this is the town of Truth or Consequences. It is about an hour north of Las Cruces in New Mexico. It is Monday, and we are still in New Mexico. We are currently at the Bosque del Apache Wildlife Refuge, and we are about to go into the visitor center to see what we can do. Look, another Skoolie. Okay, so we are hiking the canyon trail today, and the weather is really nice. It's cloudy. It's actually going to rain a little bit later today. But we are taking advantage of the weather now, and we're gonna go, or attempt to go, on this 2-mile hike. That bridge is cool. Yeah, oh, it's the train tracks. I bet it's still used. Do you think so? Do you think it's still used?
Probably. Stay alert for lightning, lay low on the ground, blah blah, hiking only. If lost, follow your footprints.
Oh.
Animals in the area are rattlesnakes, coyotes, javelins, and mountain lions.
Ooh, mountain lions. So where you can't quite tell, but you see that white stuff right there and there? We think that that might be snow. Unfortunately, they don't let you go off the trail, so we can't so we can't go over there to see what it is, but that would be my guess. Go, Penny, go! Go, Penny, go! All right, we're in a canyon right now. Woo! These rocks are cool. Ooh, they're little caves. This trail is, I think, 2.5 miles, right? Mm-hmm. And we are about a mile in. Well, we were about to be halfway and it started sprinkling, so we are going to try to make our way back very quickly.
It's raining. We had to rapidly evacuate our last route because we weren't sure how hard it was going to rain, and we were kind of in a canyon.
So it fled really fast.
Yeah, so that's also a little side note. As Chelsea would agree, is if you're ever in a canyon and it starts raining, the time to leave is when it starts raining. You don't never wait for a flood to start. A lot of people die in canyons that way. Anywho, It's kind of pretty. Got all these mountains kind of over here. There's some way over there.
That orange grass looks like a lion's mane. It's so pretty.
And this is a kind of a stop birds take when they're migrating towards Mexico. Unfortunately, we didn't do the driving tour because after the hike we were pretty satisfied. But yeah, if you like birds, this area, I don't remember the name of it.
They have snow geese and cranes.
What's the name of the area?
This is called the Bosque del Apache Wildlife Refuge, and it's just south of Socorro in New Mexico.
Right. So yeah, if you're in the area, it's a pretty neat little place to stop.
We are here at the Box Canyon. Oh, it's so pretty. Wow.
And it's down there is where it starts.
Alright, get ready for some bumps.
Yep.
In half a mile, turn left onto Torreon Springs
The
Road.
Box. So we went to the Box Canyon, kind of in between Socorro and Magdalena, New Mexico. And there was no cell service. Like, I wasn't getting any reception to be able to work on my laptop. So we tried going to another BLM spot, which had much better reception, but it was literally right off the road. I mean, it was just a pull off right here, and we just didn't feel like it was safe. So we're going to the Cibola National Forest, which is on the other side of Magdalena, which is great because it's along our route, and then we're closer to Pie Town, and we don't have to drive as far tomorrow to get pies.
Like 40-something miles an hour. It's intense.
Well, so we came to a different campsite and hoping to find internet, and it was the weirdest thing. We pulled up, we had full bars. I even called Alphonse to check to make sure that we had signal. It was great. And then all of a sudden, no signal. And it just said emergency calls only for both of us. So we have no idea what happened, and it's dark. We didn't want to move again. So now we are being off-gridders with no internet.
Off the grid.
What are we going to do?
We're going to watch downloaded YouTube videos.
Yeah. Guess so.
Alright, so we survived probably the worst night we've had so far.
It was brutal, man.
60, 70 mile an hour wind gust all night. It was like 20 degrees out. It snowed on the way in with 60 mile an hour wind gusts. That was an experience.
Yeah.
Literally, like, you're hearing the roof creak. The bus moved. Like, the bus would pick up off the ground. Like,
well,
more or less, yeah.
It would
like,
it just swayed.
It felt like it lifted. Like, it was strong wind up here in the mountain. We're like 7,200 feet right now.
Yeah, 7,019 feet up.
There's a dead deer over there, or deer leg, I should say.
Yeah.
This is actually bear country, though right now they're hibernating, but mountain lions are still out, so mountain lions are clearly still killing deer. But as you see, it's a good morning, though.
This is our view this morning. Look at the snowy mountains over there.
That's Mount Witherton. There's actually a camp down the road called Camp Bear Trap, because in this part of New Mexico, you can hunt black bears with permits and money and stuff. So the view is great. The area is beautiful. Very active with wildlife to a scary extent. But yeah, it was just a pretty morning, but very, very cold.
Yeah, probably our worst night yet. And today we're going to Pie Town to get some yummy pies, and we also need internet because since we had zero reception last night, I need to get some work done. Alphonse needs to edit our next video. So we're gonna go and get some warm pie and coffee and Wi-Fi.
And we had cell service, but we think what was happening is the tower went down because we went from 3 bars to 0 bars in
it was the weirdest
a
thing.
minute.
So better luck today.
You can't really see it, but the very large array, we don't really know what it does. It's something involving astronomy. Anyway, it's kind of in this area.
And we were going to go visit, but they're closed today, unfortunately.
Destination's coming up.
I'm waiting on it to go through its spill.
So we stopped at the Does and Bucks Coffee and Cafe. It is a cute little place here in Pie Town,
New Mexico.
In New Mexico. And we are on our way, and a cell tower is right there, which we got great Wi-Fi in the coffee shop. So we are on our way to Arizona.
Yay.
So if y'all are going through Pie Town, definitely come here. There's also Pioneer and Ohana, but this one was rated better, and it's also open on Tuesdays.
Almost there. Almost. I think that sign says it. Me and Chelsea are driving right now. We're actually, it doesn't look like it, but we're on the run from a snowstorm to our camping site.
You can see it up ahead. That's a snowstorm.
Yeah. So it's behind us, it's in front of us, it's to the left, it's to the right. We don't know exactly our area at the lake, what it's going to look like. We know up here they're expecting up to a foot. We should expect at least probably 4 to 8 inches. Because there's winter storm warnings in this whole area valley. So yeah, we're trying to get settled. It's going to be brutally cold tonight too, so.
That's why we're plugging up.
Yeah.
Going to a state park. Because if for some reason our diesel heater doesn't work or whatever, then we have power to use our space heater and keep our water tank above freezing.
So yeah, we're just kind of, we're on the way there after being in the mountains. We've dropped like at least 1,000 feet. We're going to be dropping 2,000 total by the time we get there. It's about 5,600-ish feet to the lake, or was what the lake's elevation is. Or I'm sorry, yeah, 5,600. But anyways, yeah, we're just on the way.
So right now, I don't know if you can catch the tumbleweeds just flying across the road. It is quite windy here. There was one gust back there that almost pushed me over to the shoulder because it was so strong. Here we are, Lyman Lake State Park for the night. It's gonna get pretty cold here. But it's crazy how different the landscape is here in Arizona compared to New Mexico.
Even here to where we were 3 miles ago, like, it's much rockier, there's a little less grass.
Oh, I thought it said entering P area. I was like, wow, what a sign. So, to give y'all an insight on the not so glamorous parts of bus life, it is crazy windy out there right now. I don't know if you can hear it.
A 50-mile-an-hour wind gust.
You can definitely see it in the trees. But 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and we were actually faced the other way. So right now we're faced this way, like the wind is blowing at her front now, at Bluebell's front. But before we were like this way, so parallel to the road. And so the wind was like smacking against her side. And I mean, we could feel her move, and it was just, we were worried about our solar panels because they can handle air or wind just fine going under them this way, but not horizontal. So we are stuck inside because it is cold and very windy. We barely made it the 40 yard walk to the showers without blowing over ourselves. It was crazy. So it's only like 3 o'clock. And it's gonna be a really long night because the wind is gonna be like this all day and night. Snow is coming.
Good morning, everyone. As you can see here in Arizona, it snowed a little bit last night. And as you can see from that very strong wind, it's still blowing very hard, but not as hard. It's cooled a bit. Chelsea is brushing her teeth. There's probably only like, what, 2 inches out there? Maybe 3 at the most. Something like that. Not a lot. But it did blow inside. We don't know how exactly it made it, but it did. Okay, so we're going to the Petrified Forest.
And the Painted Desert.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very, very cold. Last night it was 20-ish, something like that. Today it's gonna be, I think, 2 degrees is the low. Wind chills like -10, something like that. Freezing cold. So we're getting another camping spot. The night before we kind of stayed in a forest area. That was an interesting experience. But tonight, like this last night, we're gonna go ahead and pay for camping because while our little guy down there is doing good, we do like having other heat options that don't burn diesel. Time to head back. So there's the plow. Wind's actually still blowing. It is freezing out right now with wind chill. It's like 6 or something. And as you can see, snowy everywhere. It's Arizona, which I forget it snows here, but we are like at 6,000 feet, so not that crazy. All right. There's the bus. I can barely see the bus, but you can see it. There she is. Some of these spots are like 7 inches to a foot deep in these drifts because of how hard the snow is blowing. So, show you around, old girl. There's some gravel. There's our hitch. There's our stuff. There's whew. Everything's cold. Knock that a little bit off. Regret it because now my hand is cold. And yeah.
There's Lyman Lake.
Well, cold this morning. You can kind of see through our windshield. It's still heating up. The contrast of colors is stunning in some areas with the reds and the whites and the greens kind of all coming together. The lake itself is super pretty with all like that snow and the water and the contrast between them. This has been a very pretty way to start our morning. So, I don't know if y'all can tell, but this line of trucks goes for miles and miles and miles. It's in the city we were in, probably 2 miles there. This just keeps going because I-40 is closed up through Flagstaff.
Yeah, because of the heavy snow last night.
Because near Flagstaff itself, they got the better part of 2 feet of snow. This whole area actually got a lot more snow than I was expecting. Even where we were, we looked up the snow totals because it looked deeper than 3 inches and it was more like 6.
Okay, we're here at the Petrified Forest National Park, and it is very snowy still. Not as snowy as when we drove over here, but I think they actually have the road closed over there that goes to all the neat trails, so it might be closed, but we're at least going to go inside the visitor center and see what we can find. So on this part, right there, you can actually see the different layers and why it's called the Painted Desert. And then over there, you see that cloud? That's actually snow. It's maybe a few miles away. Oh wow, it's so close over there. Oh my goodness. So this building that we're driving up to is called the Painted Desert Inn. And I'm not sure if it's still a hotel. Probably not. So this is inside of the Painted Desert Inn. You can see that they still have the sink and the kitchen. This map was at the inn in the 1960s. And if you see that wooden door behind the blue doors with the big hinges, that was their walk-in freezer. Pretty spiffy. Okay, so for you oldies out there, do you remember the Sparkle soda? We have Kissed, Nesbitt's orange soda. We have 76 soda, and then of course Coke and Pepsi, as well as Mission orange soda. So this is all original furniture. See how they have a line of tape and say, "Stay behind this line." But yeah, all of this is original to the Painted Desert Inn. Pretty cool.
It's closed in the 1940s.
But then, okay, did they reopen it or anything?
The Park Service did. So once it closed in the 40s, it was never an inn again. But now it's just kind of a national monument.
Okay.
Because it's obviously historically important.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Betty Davis. I love the chairs.
Look at the prices.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Plain ice cream, 15 cents. What's the most expensive?
Sandwich.
Malted milk and hot fudge sundae and chocolate nut sundae. So if you want ham and cheese sandwich grilled with coleslaw, potato chips, and pickle, it is only 75 cents. Here we are at the Route 66 in Arizona.
So, cool thing, this is Route 66. Old alignment, rerouted to over there where the interstate is in 1958. But I believe it was 1922 to 1958. This Studebaker, 1932 Studebaker, was actually where it would have been. This is the actual spot the roadbed would have been. As you can see, it was completely dug up and kind of re-wilded, because the park is obviously trying to protect wildlife. But they did leave the poles, partially to mark where it was, partially because it was probably worse for the environment to remove them versus just leaving them alone for birds and stuff. But yeah, it's super cool. There's Bluebell. But yeah, this is the only national park with a portion of Route 66 in it. It's hard to see them because of all the snow, but off over there, there's kind of one on that ground area, is Petrified logs. They've been here for, I don't remember how many thousands of years, but we did not see a sign explaining exactly how these form because it's cold. But yeah, nature did something, and there's all these petrified, almost rock-looking logs, and they're super neat.
So this is the town of Holbrook in Arizona, off of Route 66. We are on our way to a really favorite spot in town called Mr. Maesta's, which is supposedly a great Mexican restaurant. And we must say we are pretty hungry after all of the snowy adventures of the day.
All right, so we're about to head out of area. It's, I think, 5 degrees right now. Last night it got down to 2. Trees turned white. Chelsea's throwing away the trash right now. Freezing cold. We actually stayed relatively warm with a mix of heaters. As you can see, there's icicles hanging off of everything. But yeah, we're about to head to Holbrook. We're on our way to Mesa. But yeah, so we're about to head out. I'm about to unhook all the electric stuff. Our diesel heater held in, a little low, so we need to fill her up. But that and the other heater kept us pretty warm. Y'all can tell in this shot, but that snow on each side is over a foot deep.
Might even be 2 feet.
Yeah, it's deep, deep snow.
Right now we are enjoying some Arizona sun. We are at my friend's house, Amber and Grant. Alphonse is watching our most updated YouTube video. So to give you an update on why we're here, Bluebell's AC does not work and we tested it when it was cold outside. Well, of course she was blowing cold air because she only blows in the air from the outside. She doesn't actually condense the air. And since the weather is getting warmer, it is currently about 60 degrees here in New Mexico on February 16th, 2023. Oh wait, not New Mexico, Arizona. It's getting hot, so we kind of want some AC. So we're doing that, and we found a really good mechanic, and he said hopefully it won't take more than a few days. Fingers crossed. So today we're gonna go to Superstition Mountains, which is north of Mesa, Arizona, east of Phoenix.
Yeah, it's in Apache.
A what?
Apache.
Apache what?
Arizona, it's the name of the city.
Oh, okay. So it's
region.
in Apache, Arizona. And supposedly, like, there's a ghost town and, like, a legend and all that. So we'll see what it's like.
Yeah.
Hopefully we survive. Tired. It just keeps going up too. Look at our view. On the way down. So we're here in Goldfield Ghost Town, a little bit north of Mesa, Arizona, next to Superstition Mountain. We'll have to tell you the legend here in a little bit. So there's the Mercantile that apparently has free fudge if you go in. And if you come here, they do tours, they do Jeep tours, they tell you all about just the legend and all that. And right now they're actually having a shootout, which is what that crowd is over there. Staged, of course. We have some ice cream, the apothecary. We're gonna go get fudge? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Let's go check out the saloon.
We got a shooting gallery.
Yeah. And look at all the cacti.